because if you are the unlucky one, the saddest thing for me is that I get really, really young men come up to me. Pisses me off. Steroids. I have taken steroids. Welcome back to The Patient Man. All right, guys. Welcome back again. And this one is one I've been waiting to do for a while. I didn't know what scene to do it in, whether if it was relevant to do it in the gym or if it was relevant to do it here. But I'm here today. I'm feeling good, feeling very relaxed, pretty grounded. And this subject is one that really, really pisses me off, but also I can understand why. You know, I can understand why. I have empathy for this particular thing. Steroids. Steroids, ego, and the cost of fake strength. Now, this could be a 10-hour video. No, I'm not going to let it be. But steroids feed the ego. The ego. I've never ever experienced. The saddest thing for me is that I get really, really young men come up to me, you know, in their early 20s, and ask me about steroids. And I'm very open, super open. As everyone, if you don't know by now, then you'll know very quickly. I'm very open to talking about it. I'm very open to talking about pros and cons. I'm not the sort of person to shut down an idea. I'll never, ever take away someone's autonomy to make a decision of what they want to do, but I will absolutely give them an insight to what it can happen. And also, is it really something that they really want to do? For what reason? Now, it doesn't make me, you know, the master at making these decisions or talking about it, but I have taken steroids, and I did it for competitions, and it has its pros and cons, just like anything in the world. You drink, it's got its pros and cons. You take illicit drugs of any type, pros and cons. Anabolic steroids, pros and cons. Now, when I made the decision to take steroids, I was already training as just a natural gym goer once I retired from footy. And my personality was very all or nothing. If I said I wanted to become a pro bodybuilder, I would have put everything on the line to become that. Now, is that healthy? It's not. It's not healthy if you can't control it. And I went into the world of trying anabolic steroids, and I remember the first time I done it. And it was bizarre, you know, you're putting a needle into yourself to get an outcome. And, you know, some of the most bizarre, horrible experiences I had on steroids, you know, everyone goes the typical, you know, your nuts shrink or your testicles shrink or whatever it might be, and you get acne and all that. You know, they're side effects, don't get me wrong. They're definitely, and they're real. But there's moods, there's money, there's emotional and mental well-being. There is consequences when you get older. There is body issues. It goes on. It goes on and on and on. And I had no one around like me to be able to give me a pros and cons list. Would I have still done it? Probably, because when I am fixed on something, I'll do that. That's why I don't tend to tell people not to do it. I'll just give them what I think, because I love that autonomy myself, and I'd never do that to someone else. But some of the horrible things, you know, you got to inject yourself, you know, on your periodic days on certain times. You know, you're taking steroids, so you want to make sure you're getting the best out of it. You're eating a lot, just sweat heaps. You know, everyone's like, oh, I want to be huge. I'm like, do you really want to be big? Do you? And they go, yeah, I want to be massive. I'm like, okay, well, just be 120. Think about being 120, right? And you got to walk everywhere you go. Your legs are going to carry you everywhere. just for daily activities. You got to get out of bed. You lose mobility. You lose flexibility, and you do, unless you work on it severely. You have sore glutes and glutes and legs from hitting needles in your legs all the time. It goes on and on and on. Man, my wife used to change our bed sheets every second day because the amount of oil and overproduction, sweat, and just hormones I would just leak out of my body. And mind you, I was never an abuser per se. I think the highest I ever went was like 500 milligrams of test a week. I think once I went to 750 and I just felt like shit, so I went back. But taking other things like Trenbolone and Deca, and these things make a big difference. Make a big difference to your physique, but also to your physiological body. I wish I had this experience where someone would tell me this information and give you the pros and cons. And I had a really lovely guy and a great interaction the other day with someone, and young fella looks amazing, looks amazing, and really curious. And I love curiosity, curious about why, how did you do this? What'd you do this? Do this? And I'm an open book. And I said, why do you want to do it? And they're like, I don't know. I just want to get big. And I said, all right, I'll give you a scenario. And I sat him down. We had a quick chat. He was one of my workers, one of the support workers. And I said to him, just do one thing for me. Just think 10 years ahead, 15 years ahead, right? And you've met the love of your life. You've met someone who just ticks every box in your life. And you want to make a decision. You've made a decision together that you want to have children. Now, things aren't working. You're trying naturally and it doesn't work. 1 year goes on, 2 years goes on, and then you start getting a bit questioned. What's going on here? And then you go in, you have a bit of a test, and you find out that you got really low test, excuse the pun, and that your sperm production's really low to none. Now, mine's not proven from steroid use. It's actually, most of the doctors have told me that it's actually probably not from that. I might have had low before it, but it definitely wouldn't have helped. And I just said to this young guy, just picture that beautiful woman that you're staring at, you're fully in love with, you're fully given to, and telling her that your decisions that you made before that are going to affect our life going forwards, especially for having children. And he kind of went, oh, Jesus, that's a really interesting way of putting it. I said, yeah. I said, don't let it make your decision, but just think about things like that, just outside of yourself. Think about the repercussions if it happens. I do know people who have taken steroids for eons and got pregnant straight away. So there is luck of the draw. I do understand that, and good on you. Shit, it's mad. But I never regret anything I've ever done, but I do wish I took better care of myself when I was younger instead of living in a world of delusion and trying to look a certain way, be big and project that physical self to protect my sad, broken self. So that was a bit of a whirlwind I didn't really have structure with that one. I just put the word steroids up and ego and sort of faking it to make it. And I hope it helps. If anyone's thinking about doing steroids, do what you want to do. It is your life. It's your life, and I had a ball on it. I had a really good time. I grew really fast. I looked great. I did well in my competition. I did, and I was beautiful. I was really proud of myself. But it's got big costs. It does. It's got big costs. Would I do it again? With the adult mind that I've got now, no. But in the mindset when I was that age, absolutely. Yeah, it's a hard one, but I just hope that if you do watch this and you are thinking about it, just make sure you have a bit more of a think about it, because if you are the unlucky one, it's a really hard road to go down. Really, really hard road. So definitely think about it. The question I have for you guys on this subject, what do you think being bigger would finally fix? Now, this is really cool. What do you think being bigger would finally fix? And I will tell you right now, hand on heart, I thought it would make me feel bigger, stronger. I could scare people off. I could do this. I could do that. I could project I can build this physical body that would make people leave me alone if they felt like they wanted to challenge me, because I was a scared person. And guess what? No matter how big your body is, if you are a scared person, and it's okay to be scared, and you're a gentle person and you're a soft person, no matter the situation, that will come out much before your body will tell the story. I remember being a security guard when I was doing steroids, and I was really good at doing security because I could talk. I could talk people out of being angry and fighting. I had an amazing way of being able to communicate with people, especially when they're angry. But a couple of times I got called out, and I'm a massive lover. I'm a big softie. You ask anyone, whoever knows me, I'm a huge softie. I have a body of a very aggressive, strong man, which is just what it is. It's just a physical form. But I would crumble. I'd find a way to be able to word my way out of it. I'd never want to fight anyone. I hated fighting. I hate it. I hate it so much. It's not in my nature. Do I do it if I need to? Of course. But I thought it would have helped me more. It actually made me worse. And now that I'm just in peace and happy with who I am and the sort of loving person that I am, I've got nothing to prove. Zero. I go to the gym now and I just love getting as big as I can naturally, and I just love helping people, and I love giving people as much knowledge of what I've learned so far in life. So for me, what do you think being bigger would finally fix? Zero. Put in the comments below if you actually, if you've gone through this yourself, or if you are, if you're thinking about doing steroids, have a chat. I'm more than happy to answer any question you want to ask. I am extremely open. So anyway, love you all. Have a really good day, and Chris O's out.